So goes to the stream early. Okay, I'm live.
Theory means Apple medicine person to
No,
reverse.
stop saying that. We're officially live now.
Okay. Oh Jesus.
Server.
Yeah, it's public.
Okay. Alright, we're just waiting for people to join. Does anyone want to join? Today? Tomorrow? Maybe in a day. Maybe 2 days. Maybe in an hour. Maybe in 5 minutes. Who the frick knows?
Rex sucks. No.
Alright, so, yeah. So,
Rex,
last time
just
we
this.
ended up here. We ended off in Jailbreak, but still.
Hey, you're 600.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you hit 600.
No, you're lying.
Bro, I'm not no lie. Look. Here.
Really?
Yeah, where I'm sending it to you.
Oh, it did! We did big time. Okay.
Rex, when a lot of people joins in, you have to scream really hard.
Okay.
Just go tweet. Oh,
Yeah,
everyone, go
that's
join
exactly
it,
what I'm
just
gonna do. That's exactly what I do.
We're saying literally everything you're doing. Yo. By the way, I am live. Come join. See, I'm gonna scream, fam.
No.
Oh. But you're gonna scream, right?
No.
Oh. Flip you.
Okay, well, no one seems to be here, but that's fine.
Congratulations, fam.
Yes, thank you.
I think the only people are watching is me, Chris, and you.
J.
Because there's only three people.
Yeah, fact, get Chris in here. Get Chris into the call.
Nah, fam.
Yes.
He's
Chris, join the darn.
No.
Join the darn VC. I'm live.
Where did you type it?
Can we join the VC? Join it. We are live. Come on, just join the VC.
He's not, bro. He's AFK.
Do you think I care?
Yeah, but don't spam him.
Yes, I will.
No.
Yes.
No. Oh, sit. Stop.
Do we not have player stats in here? Okay, I need to get that.
But Arx, Tito, come here for a second, please.
Hold on.
You done?
Yes. Okay. So what?
Okay, so look at this. The wheels.
Mm-hmm.
There's no place for the wheels. You have to check out that.
That's something on our side. I think he has to work with that.
Yeah, I'm gonna type to him.
He should probably make an entire new car. Yes, for the game. Probably.
Should I just take these parts and make a new car?
No, don't make it. No, don't make a new car. This one is made in Blender. We'll make it in Blender.
Yeah, should we have the seats like that?
Let's see. Yeah, sure. Why not?
They look so awesome, fam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll make him a little bit fat, like this.
Yes. Okay, let's see if okay, I need to make sure like that.
Okay, those are the seats.
Okay, is just no one gonna come to the stream? Well, I don't care because I have you here at least.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, no, but it's chill. I'm chill.
Oh, somebody joined. Oh no, he left.
Oh. If you're here, say something in chat. Okay, doesn't say I escaped. That's good. But now it says I escaped. And that is fine. Yeah, okay, so now you can't escape while you're still choosing a team. Quick bug fix. Okay, so
Yeah, bro. So yeah.
yeah. Okay, so last time I was gonna start scripting the GUI, wasn't I?
Do you think I know now?
No, I don't think you do.
People are starting to type in chat.
Shut up.
You dummy. Oh Jesus.
Yo, I don't. Okay, well, I don't care.
Alex, do you like our new car?
Change team. No.
Look at it. It's so good.
No. No, I hate it.
Okay, let me start working on it, yeah?
Okay.
Okay. Part 2. Okay. I have to take part 2 out of the file, yeah?
Okay.
Don't mind me.
Yeah.
What are those?
I don't know.
Oh,
Alright. To win. It's gonna be 0.5. Style is gonna be sign. No quant. We can do the should probably do the
where's the tower? The tower thing? Because I need there. I'll put it inside tower.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just put like the tower stuff in the tower, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Now let's work on part 2. Let's see. Should I just work on a new car?
Nah.
Yeah, well, we have to wait for oh wait.
Artemin. I think you should just work on like some I don't know, work on like some building.
Yeah.
Work on your police station or something.
My police station is actually done because this is like the police station that we're gonna have like, you know, like outside, like in the city or something.
Okay, well, build another one that isn't like old.
Yeah, but no, the other one is gonna be in prison.
Okay, well, we're gonna have one in the city. Well, we can have two in the city, and we can have that one that you built, the old one. You split it into the city. We're gonna have the other one, the other city one. It's like random, you know.
We should actually just have to. Okay, wait.
Okay, you know what? Just build one for the prison. Sure, why not?
Okay, yeah, but I don't know what to do with the prison because Chris is building it, and I don't know what he's doing.
No, just build a building. You don't have to build it in prison.
Oh, okay. A block. How big do you think it is? Can you come and like what's it called? Um, just make the floor. How big do you think it's gonna be?
I don't know.
It's over here.
You
It's over
decide
here.
that.
You decide because like I don't know what I think I should
No,
do.
I don't know. Jita leveling 2 currently. Welcome back to the stream. Ichumon. I don't know how the Finnish Google Translator thing, woman. I don't even know translator your name. So I'm just gonna say Ichumon. Okay? And I hope you don't bully me for that. Welcome to the stream.
Okay, I think I'm gonna have it like this. This is the biggest station we're gonna have.
Okay, no, this is just gonna be a nightmare. Actually, no, this is actually... No, that's actually pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah, okay.
I don't think about it. Okay.
This...
So I need to make that frame, actually. Turn off, you should turn off GUI, probably.
GUI? Yeah, I turned off.
Okay.
I just see what you're doing on my screen. I didn't actually turn it off. I'm just laughing.
Oh. Okay, well, it's not my problem if I,
Yeah, no, I'm just watching what you're doing.
So you're telling me you're not working? Just kidding.
Brr. Wait, what's this gonna be?
This is gonna be this using team GUI thing. Yeah. You can change, or you can change team.
Okay. It feels a little bit big, but okay.
Yeah, you'll see in a minute. In a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna roundify this because it looks better. This reminded me
I'm just gonna turn off
City, but...
GUI, and right now I'm start working. Okay.
Yes.
Let's see. Apart.
Why is this that small? What font did I use? Source Sans Bowl. Oh, it's a text box. Fuck. Guildbook is a bit overrated in my opinion to Bugatti. It looks horrible in game. Yeah. I kinda agree. My god, yeah. Guildbook is kinda overrated. I kinda like the new update though, not gonna lie. That I like just released. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's kinda cool. But yeah, you do have a point. It is overrated. Copy. Yes, I did.
Rx, we need to start making like doors. You understand, right?
Doors.
Yeah.
Okay. Uses that's the size. Meant the position.
Let's see.
Wait, make that to 50. Okay, that's size again. 500. Yeah, 0.5. There. Okay, it's a middle. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna call this police. I'm gonna copy it for the military because
Oh,
I
sorry,
could've done
I
this
clicked
bullet.
on it by an accident.
Oh no, it's okay. Then inmate. I'm just gonna copy the colors now. I was really proud when I first made this.
Okay, so what's the green one?
You'll see.
Okay, so should I change the orange to prisoner? Oh, inmate. Okay. This is gonna be police, right?
You'll see. Just let me do all the GUI work and you'll see.
I changed it to police. What's the size of it? Should it be?
You don't change a single thing, okay?
No, I just changed police, but okay.
Yeah, did I tell you to?
Hehe. Wait, how do you change those?
Huh?
Wait, how did you change those?
Font?
Oh yeah.
It's pretty simple.
Okay. Turn off okay, now I don't know what I'm thinking to do here. Should it be like glass?
Oh Jesus, that's bug.
Where? Mine?
No, your mom. Just kidding.
Bruh, your mom was really feeling good last night.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, she cried a lot.
No, she actually felt really good.
No.
Yes. There's 5 people are watching. Let's see.
This sucks. Why the frick not?
I don't know what to do. Okay, what do you think the interest should be?
I don't know.
I'm gonna make like an interest same as the other one, but like same, but it's class again.
Okay.
But it's gonna be better this time.
Okay. Okay, now it should work. Yes. It's really small though.
Arik, should we have that one in the prison and this one like in the city because it's the biggest?
Huh?
Like the small station, we should have it in prison, and this one that I'm making right now, we should have it like in the city, right?
Huh?
Like the small station that I made before.
Yeah.
Let's have that inside the prison, and this one that I'm making right now, the big one, let's have it in the city.
No, the old one.
I feel it's better like that.
Well, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, it's better size now. No, have the old one in the city.
Okay. So this big one is gonna be for prison, right?
Yeah. Well, you can have it in the city as well. We can make a small one later.
No.
Okay.
This one is gonna be really big. That's why we shouldn't have it in there.
Alright, 4.6250 negative 2.02. And then object is going to be, I need to get the menu.
Mom?
Okay. Alright, let's see here. Does it want to work now? Let's go ahead and commit this. Now let's see. Does not work at all. Definitely not as intended. Hello, Tezol. 600 subs, boys. Yes, we hit 600 subscribers. So let me know some Q&A questions and I'll respond to them here, I guess. Because why not, you know? Yeah, give me a question. Give me some awesome questions. And I will respond to them. I think Discord broke, so I'm just gonna go rejoin the call real quick. No, he is muted. Okay, cool. This game looks like jailbreak, does it? I mean, we're not aiming for it. We're kind of just like, we're kind of just doing this for fun, but we're gonna release it at some point. In terms of scripts, yeah, probably. Yeah, it probably does. Actually, no. Best has so many more complicated scripts. This is like simple scripting. Simple, advanced kind of level scripting. I don't know. When will it be public? We don't know yet. But we're aiming to get it like midsummer or end of the summer. We're aiming it to be out there. Then I kind of speak. So yeah. By the way, guys, I'm gonna weigh 607 pounds. I'm gonna see Miss Pounds on a new game setup uses. Okay. By the way, we have a Discord server for this game, so if you guys want to join it now, I can give you an invite link. If you guys really want to join it. Because, yeah, we'll give some updates there as well, so... Yeah, and there's some other cool stuff there as well. Let me know in the chat and I'll give an invite link. Because why not? Okay, here's the GUI handler. This does not work. This part doesn't even work. It's basically a bundle. Oh Jesus, yeah, I also got a bundle. I just realized this won't even work anyway. Okay, let's look for change team, then text button, and when it's clicked, that's clicked. And then I added a mic and a webcam. Okay, so you're basically going for like a YouTube setup, aren't you? Because like, who the frick would have gotten a mic and a mic cam without like going for YouTube or something? Like, I get it with like you getting a mic, but like, yeah, no. Yup. Okay. Alright, you know, see if you want to join my server that me and Ruth worked on. And Cross, a little, the doves of this game. Okay, cool, so I guess that's like pointless now. I made it Twitch too. Alright. Okay. Alright, well that doesn't work. I don't know how. All I know is that I'll work on that later, I guess. And we will work on something more interesting, won't we? And that is a level system. So we'll just comment this code out. Nope. No. No? How the fuck do you do that now? Do we do like that? No. Roblox can run on potatoes, but I'm not planning to play Roblox on that PC. Yeah. You're planning to play Fortnite. Just kidding. Alright, well, I just want to release a Discord server off this game. So that is why I hope everything is working now. I am ready. Okay, copied. Yeah, okay, so if you guys want to join the Discord server for this game, no, not Fortnite either, that game is trash, y'all. Alright, well, let me know in the chat when you want an invite link for the official Discord server for this game. Crime Island. No? Okay. No? Okay, well, here's the invite link, because no one wants it. There, you can join. Cool. I hope everything works fine. Cool. Alright, well, yeah, but I'm already in the Discord server. No, it's a different Discord server. I said it was the official Discord server for this game. You can't be into that Discord server then. I don't see you either. The PC I'm getting is an Intel Core i7. Jesus. Yeah, it's just to hop right on it. Okay, well, I don't know what to script now. That is why I'm gonna be scripting. Cool thing. I own it later. But I spent less than a day working on it, and you're saying you're not gonna join now. I feel sad. Just kidding. Okay, cool. So, yeah. Not trying to feel flex. Yeah, no, no worries. Okay, so do you guys want to see me script a level system? Well, I guess it's just you right now, Tuzzle, but still, do you guys want to play Jailbreak? Dude, this is a scripting live stream. We're not playing Jailbreak, dude. We're not playing Jailbreak. I'm sorry, but I need to go somewhere now. Soon. Oh, that's okay. Sure, script one. Yeah. Alright, we're not here to play a Jailbreak. Like, it says in the title, and it's like, we're scripting, and it says, like, Roblox 7. Do you expect me to play Jailbreak? Like, bruh. Okay, so first of all, I think we'll make it player stats. But Dima is giving free cash at the moment. Yeah, you got free 200k if you own the Bugatti. Pretty nice. Okay, so number value. It's gonna be level and XP. So first of all, we should probably script the data. So we're setting default values, aren't we? Yeah. Okay, another. So right now we're scripting data store so it saves. What is the point of playing if they're giving us free freaking cash? I think they're just giving us cash to help out buy the new Bugatti. And not like the free cash is gonna help you buy like insane vehicles, like basically every single vehicle and like everything. Like you're still gonna have to grind quite a bit. And there's still like other stuff to do in the game, like have you checked out, have you like played normally? Have you done jailbreak challenges? I've beaten the game, but I'm still playing it because it's fun. Yeah, you get the point. But I get part of your point as well. I know honestly the Bugatti share needs to be 1 million or something. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. I definitely do agree. Hey, we just gotta get on to saving now. We can probably just copy this, can't we? I guess not. Okay, we still need this part. It should be like 50k. I don't think it should be 50k. That's definitely like no. Yeah, no, not that bad. Yeah, like you can spend like 10 to 15 minutes and buy it. Like any random player could spend like 20 or 30 minutes. Like I could go on my alt, play for like 20-30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, and I can buy it if it was 50k. Definitely not 50k. You can just easily buy it and have like a really good vehicle. Alright. Alright, let's call scripting new module scripts. One per day, yeah. 366 per leap year. Yeah. Some people just grind so much. I don't know. Let's see here. Level mod. No. First of all, let's give me credit. Script by Arxbird. This script will handle the levels. I normally just grind 100k per day since I'm disable. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much I usually grind per day, but yeah. Normally I would. Oh, you got to go now. Okay, well, bye. Okay. Alright. So. Let's do some service first. Probably gonna need them. So, in fact, I think what you know what I'm gonna do? Values. Level. When will you be stop streaming? I'm probably gonna be streaming for like 1 or 2 hours. So yeah. Okay, that's actually, I think we're not going to. Ooh, I should be doing this in robbery module, shouldn't I? Wait, can you call a module? Set a module. Let's call here. What's something we could do? Let's do level. Let's do local. Robbery module. Level module colon set level, for example. Can we do robbery module colon skill big money player? Is that possible? Like, let's do that when we save. Oh, okay, we need to get the module, don't we? Okay, where do we have the modules? Here. Okay, level module. Okay, does that work? I don't think we should do it here. I think we can go in player entered. I think that's a good place to do it. What is this? This is a prison game we're working on. We've been working for this about a week now. And yeah, there's an official Discord server for it. Let me know if you want an invite. You could probably scroll up so you can find us well. If you want to join it. But yeah, nothing else special than that. So yeah, I'm just gonna use programming. With Hygrix, no. But hey, I can show you the team crate. Let's see here. Yeah. It's just Arxbird, me, Ruth, Chris, and Ardman. It's just us four looking at right now. And Ruth is in like a voice chat, but he's just muted right now, and I don't know why. So yeah. So yeah. Okay, are we just got the team here? Say big money. We are not. Good and fantastic. Okay, let's see what happens. Nope. Attempt to call a method, but it is a method. Level module concept level. Did it not? Oh, it's level. Level. There. Okay, let's see if it works now. Hopefully it does. It does, but who knows? Maybe it doesn't. Let's see here. It hasn't. Okay, well actually I can't do that right now since well now we can actually see if it wants to save the data. Which definitely did. I think we have to add a card. It isn't just adding a card, dude. It is not just adding a car. You gotta model it, you gotta script it, takes like 5 years. No. No. We're working on some other core gameplay right now. What the frick did I do? Why? Doesn't seem like I put yellow still. Dude, I'm working on the level system. I'm working on a level system. I don't think we can call modules in a module. Yeah, no, we're working on the. Well, I am working on a thing right now. So yeah, no. So I guess we can't do that. As far as it looked, which is fine. So how we're gonna do this? How is this supposed to work? Let's commit the main script. Okay, let's just test if the data works. We can test that first. Alright, so we head over to the server, we can become a military boy. Alright, anyway. So if we go to server, we go into here, clear stats. We go into, let's see, we want 500 XP, and we want to be a level 3. Alright, we changed that on the server, so now we can go back here and just like hit stop and just leave. Alright, is it successful as 8? Let's see if it successfully loads. Which I'm not entirely sure if it will. Now that I think about it. It did say it successfully loaded it. And it didn't. What the frick? Okay, I think I know why. My money didn't break now, so that's good. Okay, so let's see here. So that we're setting async. Here we are. Oh yeah, we're only getting this one. So here we're loading. Level data. Okay, now it should work. Let's go commit. Save to Roblox because you gotta save sometimes. That's just how it works. Alright, let's hit our server and let's give us level 3 and XP 250. Okay, it successfully. Come on, successfully saved. Alright, let's get back in now. Let's see, does this say successfully loaded? And it did. Perfect. Alright, so XP is now loading and saving. That is good. There's no way of displaying it right now, but that's fine. Can't seem to rob the bank. That's probably because I'm a military. Okay, so that is done. The level module. Okay. Let's make a folder. Call this script storage. Script storage. Make a script in here. And that's what we're gonna call them. Oh, yes, me too. Nope. Okay. Getting kinda tired, not gonna lie. So I may end the stream in like 15 minutes. There we go. Alright, service. Course. I'm not sure we would need it right now. Okay, let's make it function. No, this is in this thing. We don't need function here. We need function in here. Okay, so let's see here. Let's see here. Award. How would I do that? Not sure. It would be kind of scammy, but I don't care. Alright, be right back. Okay, I'm back. Okay, cool. So we gotta get XP as well. Alright, XP dot value is equal to XP dot value plus XP. Ooh, this is gonna be a hard one. I'll do that later. I will work with that later. I think I just wanna go to I think I just wanna go ahead and just quit right now. Just take a chill, watch some YouTube, do some random stuff. So yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna do. So again, if you wanna join the Discord server, again, get a link. Again, if you want to join the server, the official Discord server for the server, you can join there. But yeah. Thank you everyone for watching, and yeah, I'll be live later today, probably. Or tomorrow.